Argos start at their 11. Take to Slayton, a little sidearm, and here's Gill. Turns the corner. And then is angled out at the 25. That gives the Toronto offense a little breathing room. Robert Gill, who did not play college football, basketball, and track star.
Watching a little bit of the center here in Jeff Keeping as he has to make all the calls on this Echeverry defense. Make sure his offensive line are all going in the right direction.
Conduct. Winnipeg number 84. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Winnipeg 84 would suggest that Robbie Bryant from the bench did something. Unless they got the number wrong, and that's why Mike O'Shea has a confused look on his face.
He's wondering if it was something said by Bryant. He would have been on that sideline.
So now up to the 35. Collapsed, a little outlet to Slayton. And he gets punished at the 39 as Ian Wild, the middle linebacker, comes across.
Yeah, and Deja Dunn bought some time so that Wild could come and help him, but he held his ground on Slayton. Slayton tried a couple of moves to shake him, and we saw him do that in the first half very well. That real nice run to start a touchdown drive, but this time you get Deja Dunn out in space. Tough. You got to buy time for your friends to come. There's Deja Dunn just dancing with him a little bit, waiting for his friend Ian Wild to get there.
Slayton had 73 yards from scrimmage in the opening half. Give him 4 on that last play. 2nd and 6, Toronto. 4-man rush, quick hitter, drop ball. Should have been caught, should have been a first down, and Spencer Watt couldn't hang on.
Mentioned the 3 incompletions by these two quarterbacks in the first half. Race had 2 in the second half that were just flat-out drops. One by Robert Gill on a hitch pass. Hit him right between the 1 and the 0, and that one between the 8 and the 9.
And Watt really the only incumbent receiver in the lineup for Toronto. Stoudemire lets that hit the ground, and then he'll have to scoop it up at the 17. We're going to call 5-yard no yards. But the way Stoudemire's return tonight, the Argos will probably take that just to make sure he isn't going anywhere.
No, in fact, coaches, which is one of the reasons I want to change the rule if I could. More on that later.
Bomber football in a tie game when we come back to Toronto. Well, I don't think the Argos were concerned about the 5-yard no yards penalty, but they are by a rough play against Winnipeg native Thomas Miles, the University of Manitoba Bison product.
I thought there was a little bit of a late hit there. It was a shoulder driven right into Stoudemire, and another bad decision by a young player on the team.
So it turns out to be a 20-yard advancement for Winnipeg off a pair of penalties up to the 38. We'll fake to Cotton, and Denmark has Dwight Anderson in his hip pocket.
That's a different cat right there. Dwight Anderson is still doing some sort of dance with 2nd down coming.
Holding Denmark to a pair.
That's coming in this season, and there's Clarence Denmark right at number 2. Now, keep in mind that some teams have played more games than others.
6 100-yard games for Denmark, 2 against Toronto, and also a 99-yard game against Toronto. They send the house. Willie puts it up for Aaron Kelly, and it's incomplete.
Aaron Kelly, if he's been watching games lately, doesn't want to gesture to the officials. He thought about it there when he put his hand up.
There was a bomber back protecting Willie who signaled about a pass interference penalty, and I wasn't so sure we weren't going to see one.
Well, yeah, you know, it didn't look like there was any grabs or anything. If anything, possibly screening. As Underwood kind of pushed into him without looking back, but no flag on the play. And then Aaron Kelly turned around, kind of put one hand up, and then realized quickly that draws a penalty flag in a hurry now. And I love that rule.
5th 2 and out for the Bombers, 3rd in the second half. But they have generated the tying points, and Jim Daly's infuriated. Argos have to call timeout. Looks like they have 13 men on the field.
I'm going to say, I've just
12, 13. They still have 13.
They do. You had to call the timeout, burn it, because he was hustling down. And Dwight Anderson.
So they used a timeout.
That's a long run. That's a long and humbling run when you're the guy that shouldn't be out there. Interesting that happened to Dwight Anderson when he was dancing around after a first down tackle.
Pressure. Ira got it away. He went down, but no flag, and Bradwell will step out at the Toronto 40-yard line. Well, they went after him. And a 35-yard punt. CFL Fantasy now a reality. Go to tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy. Set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the 102nd Grey Cup. And a Joseph Abood suit for Moores. Every pick counts. Make yours today. Folks, front row center enjoying the action.
Ricky, big pass, buddy.
Here at Rogers Center tonight. Ray underneath, incomplete, intended for Slayton, who was being tracked by Ian Wild.
Now, Wild made an adjustment. Remember that touchdown throw to Xander Robinson where Ray looked him off? This time Wild just locks into his man, which was Steve Slayton. And rather than worry where the quarterback's looking, he just stays with his man, and eventually it does come to his man, and he's there to knock it down. Again, a guy who has not committed a penalty all season long. Well over 400 plays.
Ray was almost perfect first half, 2 for 5, 18-yard second half. Throws a completion here. Matt Buckner defensively tossing the receiver back. Forward progress, the 49 for Spencer Watt, and that's going to be a yard short of the first down.
Is it close enough? And again,
Gill's coming out.
Yep. Yeah, he's taking a good long look at this.
And Watt is the 10th receiver of the night to catch a pass for Toronto.
He wants to get a measurement and take a look to see how close they are. Inside a yard.
So they don't have to get to the 50-yard line, but a good guideline to know if he's made it or not when Mitch Gill sneaks. If indeed that's the play call.
Yeah, they got Wayne Smith back in the O-line. I mentioned Jeff Keeping, who Scott Malenovich says is going to be real important, have a real important role in this game against a lot of different looks.
And Wayne Smith with his 100th career game start tonight. It's a lot of pounding in the trenches.
Could hold off a couple of guys with those arms, I think. Just
Sideline there.
get them going forward.
And the sneak by Gill, and you can see he got the push across the 50 before he got driven back.
He's going to get that mark, isn't he? Because that first surge didn't look like he had it. Kept working at it, fell off the left side of the O-line, and when he fell off the O-line on the left side there, got in behind Keeping and Holmes, and when he did that, he kind of rolled forward and did get past the 50, and he didn't need to get to the 50, so that'll move the chains.
So a fresh set of downs for Ricky Ray just beyond the 50. Hands it off, and they'll try to get that run game established again, and that ball popped loose again, and Maurice Liggett's got it, and it looks like it's Bomber football. So Steve Slayton has fumbled twice here in the second half.
They're still discussing it, and right now Keeping is in there trying to suggest that he was down.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Winnipeg. First down.
There's a clarification for you. And the second one in a row by Steve Slayton. Got a good push.
And that
No
ball
question.
ripped out
Yep.
again, and again it's Teague Sherman. who came into the game with a couple of forced fumbles. Looked like they were crediting him with the last one against Slayton, and that's another for the University of Manitoba product. And Slayton's put the Argos in a bind here with a couple of second-half fumbles. Bombers take over at the 48, and they'll hand it off to their running back, Grigsby. Nothing doing. Shea Emery there with the stop. Emery, who played his 100th game in the last outing for Toronto against his old team, the Montreal Alouettes.
UBC product. Eastern Washington first in the year with the UBC Thunderbirds in Vancouver. And the leader of that defense making the calls and the signals and the checks on Drew Willett. Big down here.
2nd and 9. Pocket collapsing, flag down. Willie takes off, and he'll be close to the first down, but those flags all in the area where you anticipate holding.
Offside. Winnipeg number 81. That penalty is declined. Illegal block. Hands to the face. Winnipeg number 68. 10-yard penalty. First down.
For Darryl Howard, not a hold, but it'll be marked back the same way. The right tackle. Well, the illegal block.
Yeah, Howard's over here. He's working one-on-one on Aston Whiteside, and he gets his hands up in the face. Now there's a bit of a size mismatch. 6'4" versus 6'2". 2nd and 19. 4-man rush. Willie over the middle. There's Robbie Bryant. He lost the football. Argos around it. Cleon Langs gets it back for Toronto. The former Argo cops it up. 6 turnovers for Winnipeg last week. Their first of the night. Robbie Bryant. Thought here has got to be, and he's a veteran receiver, his thought's got to be, positive yards, punt the football on this second down play that they've got a mile to go. I mean, penalties push them back, so you want to get some positive yards here, from the backside of the play.
Whiteside the strip.
Didn't see that contact coming from behind him.
So right about the spot that Slayton fumbled the football, the hitch to Gill. Through traffic. And close to a first down. Looks like he should have it inside the Bomber 40.
We talked earlier about the humidity and the heat in this building with the dome closed in the summer, and so that could be part of the ball security issue for these guys. The ball's getting a little slimy, and so are their hands, and they take that extra second to secure it.
Somebody turned the air conditioning up. Hasn't been as crisply played third quarter after pretty interesting first half. Takes the steal. Ray rolls, throws, and Teague Sherman makes another play. Knockdown intended for Robinson. Let's head back to the sidelines here again as Matthew.
Guys, a quick note about Cleon Lang. I asked Scott Milanovic who he thinks is most underrated player on defenses, and he said, well, it's Cleon Lang. He has shown so much maturity so far this year. It's the reason why Milanovic actually made him part of the locker room committee that he put together a couple weeks ago. And he said what really distinguishes Cleon is his attention to detail, not just on the field, but in the meeting rooms as well. And the fact that he gets a fumble, the fact that he has so much energy is really what has been impressing Milanovic so far this year.
Edmonton native, a key Canadian on that Argo defense as a starter. There's a completion. Watt the catch, and he does have the first down. Was dancing a little short of it before heading north and moving the chains once again for Toronto. 14 for Watt.
Nice protection for Ray to go through the progressions. He has to go through a few, and Jeff Keeping here again calling these signals. Watch how he's in the middle here, and he's pointing guys out where they're lined up. He's checking them all. Now he's talking and communicating to the rest of the line. He said, okay, they're going over there, and this is the protection. I got this side. We're helping you. Ray's got time. Hits Watt.
14 for Watt. First down for Toronto. Curtis Steele has the football. Straight ahead. Close to 9 more. Tripped up by DeMond Washington. Steele with a touchdown in the first half. And that is going to be the final play of the third quarter. Tie game when we return for the fourth. Argos with the football in Bomber territory. In for a good finish tonight in Toronto. Quarters here in Toronto.
Over 300 yards off offense for the Argos. We see the turnovers 2-1, and right now the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had those 2 turnovers created, but only scored 7. They took advantage of the first one, not the second one. Now the Argos are poised here to take advantage of their turnover created by their defense. So we talk all the time, Chris, about how important that is. The sudden change. Can you take advantage when your defense turns it over for you?
Not a lot of offense. The turnover is a big factor for that in the second half, but is it a matter of a lot of good adjustments?
Yeah, adjustments, and defenses are stepping up in that third quarter. The Argos have a chance here to put some points on the board, but we saw the great completion percentage for both quarterbacks in the first half. That's changed because of a little bit of pressure, a little bit of changed stunts, and again, they're just creating some turnovers by ripping the football out.
Short yardage team in, second and less than a yard. Gale follows Big Jeff Keeping. Wayne Smith. Tyler Holmes should have a first down.
Good football game going on here, though. I mean, there's lots happening in this game. You saw some good offense in the first half. Seen some defense in the third quarter. Now in the red zone, Toronto Argonauts have a chance here to take this lead.
Team's been in the red zone 5 times tonight inside their opposition's 20-yard line, and the offense is 5 for 5 in the red zone this evening. Ray from the shotgun pulls it down, takes off, and now flips. Steele, touchdown. Ricky Ray, double clutch just in time.
Take a double take there to see if he didn't cross the line of scrimmage. Don't think he did. No penalty flag down. That's just Ricky Ray creating on the run.
Steele has a rushing touchdown, now a receiving touchdown. And again, the ball scrimmaged on the 15, so watch that.
Well, and just like that, ball scrimmage on the 15th. Ray steps up. As he crosses the line of scrimmage, he tightrope walks it.
Nice little sidestep and spotted Steele in the nick of time. So now the Argos get 7 off the turnover.
So points off turnovers, 7-7 in this game. And
I want to say thank God, man, to my family, my wife, my lady, man, what's up? Pops, just let me live. Bro, I love you.
2 touchdowns on the night, 4 for the season for number 29.
And he got to play in that series because of a couple of fumbles by Steve Slayton,
Yes.
who got a place on the bench because of it. Well, Ray looked like he was locked in to run and then just pulled the trigger as he's falling down. Not hit there, just trying to stay behind the line of scrimmage.
Not a signature corner route for Ricky Ray, corner route pass, but just as effective.
Well, sometimes they don't ask how. It's how many, and that's another one.